Hello, my part people. Hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today with Bargain Bead Box July 2023, project number 1. Project number 1. Here's our little design for the project number 1. Easy peasy bracelet. We are going to be using that, the peacock, which I can only imagine was the focal piece of this box. Today. So we are going to be using this little guy. I have decided against painting him since I've decided to put him with the lapis in this bracelet. So that's what we got going on today. If you are new here, welcome in. If you are not new here, welcome in. Let's get down to the mat, get this party started. Alright guys, here we are down on the mat. This is our design. If you saw my plan video, you saw my plan video. So this is why these are not as elaborate as they might normally be, but we're just over here doing what we can. So these are the only two pieces that we are going to use for this bracelet. And as you can see here, I wrote sideways bird, which means we're going to make our bird sideways. Easy peasy, right? So, let's just get on down into it and get this party started. So, first things first, Thunderhorse Descendant is a working studio, so if you hear some commotion going on, that's just work happening. Don't be alarmed. Also, we have animals over here at the Thunder House, just in case you were wondering. And sometimes I like to be a little bit crazy. Today we are going to use Soft Flex beading wire medium. That's what we are going to use. We are also going to use some 22 gauge. You know, do I want to use 22 gauge? Decisions. Maybe I want to use some 20 gauge. I think I might use a little 20 gauge. Okay, I'm going to use some Beadsmith 20 gauge right here. This is in the color titanium, and that is for wire wrapping our peacock. So let's get these things wire wrapped and fixed up first before we start any kind of stringing doings. And to do that, we are just going to focus in on our bird. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bail off of here. And I'm going to discard it. So now I just have a loop. Boop. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 20 gauge, we're going to go in here and underneath the finding part, and we're just going to wire wrap our bird. Okay. Should be pretty easy to get him wire wrapped up. So I'm just going to take my pendant here, and you can see there's a gap in between the stone and the finding. So I'm just going to stick that in there to the middle. And I'm going to just create a little loop. So it is kind of a wider area here, but that's fine. I'm just going to do a wire wrap loop right here. I'm going to get it about as close as I can. I'm not going to do any like really shaping with this or anything. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go in here inside the X that I've created, and I'm going to pull this one up 90 degrees. Then I'm going to go over here and kind of eyeballing it right about where I think that it would meet, and I'm going to pull that one up. Okay, and all I'm going to do is going to kind of close pin them together, right, like so. And you're going to see once you do that, that one is going to want to go over the top, so you'll be able to identify which one is the one that you should be spinning around. So I'm going to grab a hold of this, and I'm going to tighten it. I am spinning down. here. Just make sure it's tucked in. Now if this part is bothering you, you can always go in and shape it, you know, if you want to. I don't really necessarily have an issue with it. I think it's fine. And then right here, we're just going to do a loop on the top. So here we go with that part. Once we got everything together, we're just going to do some adjustments here so it looks a little nicer. And make sure all the wire is tucked in so it doesn't want to jump out and hurt anybody. And then just do a little bit of adjusting there. And just getting everything straightened up here. Alright, so now we got a loop on the top and a loop on the bottom. Basically, this is now going to act as a connector. Smash it. So now we can bring in our beads. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to do one of these numbers, like this. But I am going to use a ball and socket clasp, an Old Faithful clasp, as I say. Got a gunmetal color. That's interesting. Just because I like that kind of thing. And looking to see what I have for silver. Don't know if I might have taken that box upstairs. Or something happened. Not sure. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, well. Alrighty, well, we will go with the gunmetal, I guess. Alright. So we're going to go with a little bit of gunmetal. We're going to use some crimp tubes. We're going to be using 2s. Maybe I will use the gunmetal color just for funsies. We're going to need 4. And let's see, what else we're going to need. I'll be right back. Alright, so now what we can do is we're just going to split this bead strand in half. Although I am not going to use all of these beads. You could, dependent on the size of bracelet that you want to make. But I'm going to split these beads. And I think I'm going to remove about 4 of them, which should leave me with 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so we got this side and we got this side. Alrighty. And then all we're going to do is string it up. Pretty easy. Get out a little smidge of this wire here. And might as well get the other side while I'm in here. May as well. Okay, so again we're using soft flex medium beading wire, and it's satin color, so it's just the silver. And I'm just going to get my size 2 crimp tube. I'll put that on here. And then I'm going to go into this side first. Not that it matters. Oop. And I'm just going to get this straightened out. So the most important part with this is the crimping. With crimping is you want to make sure that your wires are not crisscrossed, because the purpose of the crimp is to separate the wires. Okay, so we're going to go in with our crimper. Okay, we got macaroni, we got an eye. We're going to first go in with macaroni, and we're just going to line her up, and we're going to make sure that it's not twisted, and we're going to crimp. Okay, so here you can see that it is not twisted. Then we're going to go in, now with the eye. So we're going to go in at it this way. We gotta put the crimp in sideways, okay? And then we're going to squeeze, and while we squeeze, we're going to roll, okay? So we're going to roll it, and we're going to make sure that that crimp is secure, and it looks as though it is secure. So you can see how any excess of the crimp kind of rolls up on itself, which is what we want. Alright, we check it, we make sure it's good, looks good, and then we're going to just put on our beads. Now, I'm not adding anything to the bargain bead box here. If you wanted to add, you definitely could, like especially since I'm using a gunmetal clasp. Maybe I would want to add in some gunmetal spacers or something. But for this particular project, I'm not at all worried about it. And I've already added, if you saw my plan video, I've already added something. So I think I need to stop adding things, because I don't usually do that. I don't want anybody getting mad at me. Okay, so this is going to fit. This fits me. So this is directly in the middle of my wrist. My wrist is 6 1/4 inches. So when I put on the clasp, it's going to be probably a 6 1/2, right? So you got to make your decisions here where you want, how large you want your bracelet to be. Now, if you wanted it to be 7, you might want to add another bead. I'm going to stick with 9 beads, and I'm going to add the crimp. So put on my end here, and I go through another bead. That's just a personal preference. You do what you want. So now I don't want this super tight like that. I pulled it a little bit too much, so I back up a little bit. And also you want this to be able to move, not too much. You know, you got to find that perfect little spot, but you do want it to be a little bit flexible. So then once I got it where I want it, I'm going to move that crimp down in the middle so it is not, there's not so much like string with this situation. And then I'm going to make sure it is not twisted. And I'm going to come in here and crimp. And spin. And roll. And the crimp looks good. And then I will cut it off. My crimper, I probably time for a new one. I've been saying that like 4 videos ago. Alright. So there's one side. We're almost already home free. So now I'm going to go into this side. There's my crimp tube. this side. And do the same thing over here. I didn't roll the way I should have. There we go. Perfect. And now I put on these ones. And I'm going to give this a little bit of a trim. The reason is I don't want it to stick out further than the first bead, because then it's possible it could, like, you know, rub against the wrist. So I kind of want that tail to fall in the bead, not too short, because if it gets to wiggling around it might come out of there, like, you know, and then be sticking out on this side. I don't want it sticking out on this side or this side, so I kind of want to cut it so it's in the middle of the bead there. And then we just whip on this side. These lapis are nice. I like them. Oh, we are professionals who do not put our phone on Do Not Disturb. Hi, Bixby. Put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Do Not Disturb is now on.
Alright, great. Never fails. It's always something. Alright, now this side. And through the crimp tube. And through the bead. And down. So then, you gotta make sure the slack is all, you know, in the right spot. So I always gotta pull it tight first and then wiggle out the slack to where I want it, which you can kind of get that slack by just going like this, because, you know, this has got to be able to move and it's going to loosen up, but you don't want it to be too loose, so you want to bring that crimp down a little bit so it's in the middle of the loop and the bead. Alright, and then we crimp. And we check it. Looks good. And then we trim it. Oop. Okay. So now we should have a 6.5 to a 7, right? That's probably what we're looking at. So let me, where is my cone? Oh, I bet you I took it upstairs. Did I? Oh no, it's over here. It's over here in the photo area. Okay, here we go. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me just say before we do that, I really like this. I think it's really cute. See, now this makes me like this peacock. If you were around for the beginning of this, I was like, I do not like this peacock. But I do like it now. So yeah, I think it's going to be about a 7. Oh, lied. It's an 8. It's an 8. It is an 8. Well, that's fine. I thought it was going to be about, a 6.5, 3/4. I don't know where I got that. But, whatever. That's fine. An 8 is fine. I know ladies who wear an 8. I just don't personally wear an 8. See, because I got this little wrist. That is like, got a little bit extra here. But check it out. I do enjoy that. Now, it also, if you're a person who likes loose bracelets, this might be a kind of a thing for you as well. So yeah, we got an 8. There you go. I dig it. I do really like this little peacock now that he's on here with this. So that just goes to show So anyway, we do have a few beads too, 4 or 5 beads. We could make, you know, we could whip up a little pair of earrings, but I think we got some earring projects planned, so I'm just going to hold on to these for now. Oh yeah, I guess this did give us an inch, didn't it? Is that an inch? That's just about an inch, I think. Alright. So, if you wanted to do a 7, you would have to take off more beads. Probably, what, 2 to 4 beads. If that's what you want to do. But, I really like this. It's so good. I'm glad it turned out. I'm glad something went right. But anyways, so there she is. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, don't forget to like, subscribe, make a comment. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you like this. And I like that it has like a back, you know? So it kind of looks like, it looks nice on the back, like when you're gonna, you know, wear it or whatever. Say you're gonna sell it. And it's like, oh, it's not just whatever. It's kind of got like a finding on the back too. So that's cool. Alright, you guys. Well, I hope you all have a lovely, spectacular, amazing beading day. And I will get you some photos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.